morning, everyone. It's Uncle Albert again, and I'm going to tell you about 3 really neat things that you can do with iMovie. First, I want to teach you about a theme. Now, it's not the kind of theme you write for English class, but let me show you what I mean. When I go up to File, and I create a new movie, and if you're in the old version of the program, you would click New Project. You click it, and what happens is you can choose a theme. Now, each one will give you a different way to make your movie look. If you'd like to see what the bright theme looks like, click on the play button. You'll notice, oops, I have to turn it down. You'll notice that they have light-colored graphics that come in at the bottom of the screen, and the transitions between the pictures look like a bright flash. Ooh, look, there's a little white side thingy. Let's look at another one. Neon. That looks interesting. Look. Crazy opening graphic with lots of cool lines and stuff. Oh, look at that transition. And the little weird thing at the bottom of the screen. You can do some very interesting thing with these themes. So as you go through, look at each one and see if there's one that would fit your project best. I believe I will try Bright. Click it so it turns blue, then click Create. Then give your movie a name. I don't know, let's call it Bright. How about that? And then click OK. You have your pictures up at the top. But if you click on Transitions, you'll notice it says there's a transition for the current theme, which is Bright. If you don't know what a transition is, it's just a fancy way to switch from one picture to another. Let me show you how it works. Imagine that we have a few shots in here. Let's just use some basic colors. Let's use a blue, and let's use a red, and let's use an orange. Wonderful. Now, since we used a bright theme, it will automatically give you a space for an opening title. And you can click on this and call it whatever you want. That way, when you play it back, it will add the bright introduction to your picture. Now, let's talk about transitions, which we haven't done before. If you click on the Transitions bar, you will see many different ways to switch from one picture to another. And if you'd like to see what they look like, just put your mouse on each one, click and drag it down between the 2 pictures, then let go. This one is called a cross blur. So it blurred from blue to orange. You have some fancier ones. This one is called Spin Out, and it looks like this. Another one called Mosaic looks like that. But I would warn you, many of us get a little too crazy with our transitions. If you watch a real movie, one that you'd pay $10 for to go see at the theater, there are only 2 transitions that you will see most of the time. The first one is called the cross dissolve, where it just switches from one color to another. It fades in while the other one fades out. The other one is the most simple transition of all. Here's something I need to talk about. When you make a movie with a theme, it turns on automatic titles and transitions, meaning the computer wants to think for you. If you don't want it to think for you, if you want to do everything yourself, when this comes up, click on Turn Off Automatic Content. The most basic transition is a cut. A cut is when you just go from one picture to another with no transition whatsoever. Look, it'll go from blue to orange, no warning, nothing fancy, just cut. There it goes. Let me show it to you again. Click here, play it again, cut. Isn't that fancy? No, it's not. That's what good filmmakers do. They don't go too crazy with transitions. And while we're talking about crazy, which is a subject that I know something about, let's move on to the Titles menu. They have an opening title, like the one we saw. There is a middle title, which looks like the opening, only it's a little skinnier. Notice how it's closer to the bottom. And then for the end title, you can put a picture over to the side. Now, if you scroll down a little farther, you may find something called lower third graphics, which we need to talk about. Yes, we do. It's a way to put words at the bottom of the screen and still keep your audience paying attention to what is up here. Notice there are several of them at the bottom. Let's click Torn Edge Black and take it down. Oh look, I'm a video expert. Isn't that nice? When you use graphics, when you write things on the screen, we have a temptation to use 19 different kinds. For our first graphic, we'll use standard. For our second one, we'll use whatever this one's called because I can't see the name. Standard lower third, yes, there we go. And then, in the next one, we'll expand the letters. Then we'll do a reveal, or a backwards reveal, whichever one you like better. You want to keep your graphics consistent. Don't use 19 different kinds of graphics on the screen. The same way, you don't want to use 19 different kinds of transitions. With transitions, most of the time you should use either a cut or a cross dissolve. If you use a fancy one, I should only see it once in your video. So this is one of the few times in this class where you'll want to be a little conservative. Make sure that your titles are all the same font, same size, and same color. It's usually the best if they're a light colored font on a dark colored background. Now, one extra thing about themes before we go. If you start working on your movie and you realize, I don't like my theme, it's kind of boring, you go up to Window, then Movie Properties, click on Settings. You see this theme right here? Click on Bright, and the theme window will come back up. And you could, if you would like, switch themes to Film Strip, News, Modern, CNN, iReport, whatever you like. But remember, the themes, the titles, and the transitions can give your piece personality. Just don't give them too much personality, or you'll look like you have multiple personalities, like your teacher does sometimes. But that's another story for another day. Have a great afternoon!